What's going on, everyone? So, once again, in training camp, Jalen Hood Schifino is getting a ton of praise for standing out. We heard this last season, too, right? Darvin Ham, LeBron Anthony Davis, several guys talked about how, man, Jalen Hood Schifino is looking really good. He's really busting folks up, right? Fast forward to this training camp, same thing, right? JJ Redick, Rui Hachimura, Davis, right? You go down the list. The one guy that everyone's like, hey, who's really standing out? Who really seems to have taken some significant strides? They all go Jalen Hood Schifino. He's gotten stronger. He's bulked up, right? He's playing the role. He's seeing the court better. He's playing with some more confidence, playing with a little more swagger. And look, that's great, right? Like, Jalen Hood Schifino, just at a glance, is exactly what the Lakers need in a lot of ways. A sizable, versatile, could slot in 1 through 3 because he's 6'6", can be a primary or even secondary playmaker, shoot the basketball a little bit going off his G League stats. We don't really have enough information from the regular season, but shoot the basketball a little bit, right? Make some plays for himself, create for others. Lakers could gladly use that, right? Again, his versatility out there, be a point of attack, defend, got good size, good length in that regard. If he really can be that, that would be fantastic. That'd be huge for the Lakers. But again, we heard this same thing last season, and lo and behold, he got no real meaningful playing time. He averaged like 3 minutes a game, all in garbage time. He didn't get any real significant minutes. Now, Jalen Hood Schifino did talk about how, you know, the nerves kind of got to him in year one and stuff like that. And, you know, kind of talked about his experience out the gate. But also, it's kind of hard to kind of get over those sort of hiccups when you don't actually get opportunity. When you don't get any type of consistency in any form, and you're only playing garbage time, which isn't real organized basketball, right? It's talking street ball, right, at that point. Everyone's just trying to get out of the game. Everyone's just trying to not get hurt, right? They're just trying to kill the clock. Guys are just running up and down the court, jacking up shots. It's not real structured where you're initiating the offense, you're initiating that pass, you're making the plays, right? You're moving, you're constantly, you know, within schemes. None of that happens during the garbage time. And with Jalen Hood Schifino, we just don't have a ton of like sample size because of that. The only thing we really have to go off of is his G League stats. Where in the G League, he really was busting everyone up. I mean, the guy was fantastic. I mean, night in and night out, he's the best player in the G League. Now, I understand the G League is not the same thing as the actual NBA, but it's a really good sign when your 20-year-old rookie who doesn't have experience comes in and is just better than everybody, right? Like, that's a good, you know, that's a good, like, kind of point to and go, hey, there's something there. There is clearly enough that could potentially translate to some degree, right? I'm not saying Jalen Hood Schifino is going to be a star or superstar or anything like that, but you also never know, right? Like, he's young. He's younger than our draft pick this year, right? Like, he's a guy that has a ton of room for growth potential upside. He's dealing with injuries last year. He's kind of recovering, so we didn't get to see him in Summer League, right? Usually that's kind of a bit of a barometer, right? Like, you look at Max Christie, for example. Not this past season, but, you know, the previous season, you saw the leap from year 1 to year 2, and Max Christie was just clearly better, right? He got whatever he wanted whenever he wanted it. No one could stop him. He was dominating out there on the basketball court, and it was like, okay, there's clear significant growth here. From year 1 to now, there's real growth there. But with Jalen Schifino, we didn't really get to see any of that. We didn't get to see, like, what can he do? What has he improved on? You know, has he really kind of bulked up? Has he kind of, you know, figured things out a little bit here, right? And so, once again, it's Jalen Hood Schifino's great. Jalen Hood Schifino's doing everything. Jalen Hood Schifino's the guy. Okay, well, can we see him on the basketball court? But also, where does he slot in, right? Where do you play him? Because you're not playing him over D'Angelo Russell. Gabe Vincent has gotten a ton of praise also. I mean, JJ Redick even just talked about how, you know, he wished he had 10 Gabe Vincent's. That Gabe Vincent's been fantastic and doing everything that is asked of him. And, he's that point of attack veteran guy, right? You want Gabe Vincent. You want a guy like him that you can lean on, kind of do the dirty work, do a little bit of everything, right? So Gabe Vincent's going to get some run. Do you play him maybe over Max Christie if Max Christie, but we've heard a lot of good things about Max Christie too. Right, there's been a lot of talk about Max Christie's looked really good. Max Christie's knocking down the shots and playing defense and doing all the dirty work too, right? Like there seems to be real growth with Max Christie. So, okay, so you're not playing him over Reeves, you're not playing him over Christie, not playing him over Gabe Vincent, you're not playing him over D'Angelo Russell. Do you slot him at the 3? I mean, he is 6'6", right? You can slot him at the 3. Him and Dalton Knecht kind of share minutes in the backup role. Behind Rui Hachimura until, maybe Jared Vanderbilt gets back. But even then, it's like, unless he really shoots the ball well, which could be a possibility. He shot like 42, 43% in the G League. Now, I'm not expecting him to do that in the NBA, but can he be 37.5%? Can he be 38%? Right? Can he be somewhere in that ballpark? If that could happen, then that would be huge, right? If he can kind of play off ball and you can utilize him as a screener, utilize him as a slasher, right? His ability to kind of slash, cut towards the basket and use his size and his length, like that could go a long way. His ability to finish through contact, especially if he's gotten stronger and he has kind of bulked up. But it really would come down to his shooting, right? Like how well can he shoot the basketball? If he can shoot the ball, if he shoots the ball well, and he can really kind of get after it on the defensive side and be that kind of secondary, third playmaker, on the court at any given time and create for himself, create for others, apply rim pressure, kind of give you a different look for this team, give you a different balance for this team, right? Because he's a guy that can push out and get out and transition, kind of push the pace. You could even at times kind of run him with the young bucks, right? And just kind of let him go, right? JJ Redick and the Lakers have really worked on their conditioning. But the young guys out there, right? Go with like Jalen Hood Schifino, Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, maybe Jackson Hayes for a floor running big, and then, Rui or whomever, right? And just let them start flying, right? Just, hey, get out of steam and go, right? Like you could kind of get different looks, get different change of pace. But I think unless a trade happens at some point, where you're unloading Gabe Vincent or you're unloading D'Angelo Russell, I don't know how consistent of a role, minutes, and actual games he'll play behind everyone else, right? Like, to me, I see him, I don't think he won't play at all this season, right? I don't think it'll be one of those things where he's just playing in the G League all year, but I don't think he's going to play on a nightly basis. I don't think he's going to play on a regular basis unless he really has just been that good in training camp. We'll also see what he does in preseason, right? I'm sure he'll get some opportunity in preseason because you're not really running your main guys 30, 40 minutes, right? So Jalen Hood Schifino is going to get a lot of time in preseason. If he's busting folks up and he's looking good and he's doing what you want from him, you might have to find him minutes. You might have to figure it out. And like with Jared Vanderbilt out right now, I think the 3 is probably where he has the best chance. I think the 3 is probably where he has the best opportunity to be slotted in, right? Because you'd have you'd have essentially D'Lo, Gabe, Austin, Max, Rui, Jalen Hood Schifino, right? And then LeBron James, Anthony Davis maybe play some backup 4 minutes. You could always slide Rui over to the 4. And then Anthony Davis, Jackson Hayes, so on and so forth. Kind of have that balance. So, maybe Jalen Schifino, maybe the 3 is where you kind of find a way to play him. But it's just, like, I get it could just be a confidence thing, right? I get it could just be like, you want to instill confidence in the young guys. Like, oh, man, they've been killing it, right? Get the kind of media attention and the media buzz on the young buck, right? Like, I can understand that. I can get that. But it's just, as a fan and of the Lakers, like, if he really is looking that good, why wouldn't you want to get him on the basketball court, right? Why wouldn't you want him to play? Now, look, training camp, looking great in training camp is not the same thing as looking good on the basketball court. But how do you know if you never play him on the basketball court, right? Like, how do you know what he's capable of doing if he never actually gets any level of consistency, opportunity, and actual minutes? If he's just kind of just floating around, and just getting spot minutes here and there, and he's not really able to find a rhythm, find his footing, find a flow or anything like that, well, then it's all redundant, right? So we'll see. I'm rooting for him. I want him to be good. I know a lot of people already have him written off as this bust and all that stuff, which I don't understand how you can come to that conclusion when he was a rookie that just got no real minutes, no real opportunity. Right? Like, I don't know how you can come to that conclusion by seeing 3 minutes a game and him averaging 1.6 attempts. Make LeBron do that and watch how good he is. Right? Like, it ain't nobody's gonna look great playing 3.5 minutes a game and getting 1.6 attempts. Right? Like, he could shoot 100% and he's still only getting 4 points, 3 points at that. Right? So, anyway. As always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Are you somewhere in between? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.